Hello everyone, I hope everybody's keeping well. So, the Department of Foreign Affairs lit a champagne party when Ireland got a seat in the United Nations Security Council. Um, so basically, in other words, what I'm basically trying to say is in this country there's no, you might say about an inquiry, there's an investigation, but at the end of the day, fuck all is done about it. Basically nothing came out of it. Basically, Coveney dismissed cause for an internal report into the Department of Foreign Affairs party for breaching COVID rules. And these are all higher up civil servants and not your average civil servants. These are on €1,000 a week, maybe even more than that, some of them. Very senior civil servants, in other words, government that we're paying for. We're giving them the pleasure of having a job, in other words. And fuck the rules, in other words, that's more or less what was said. We do have to follow them. We're a part of the establishment. We do have to follow the rules. Isn't that great? And even Simon Coveney was there himself. So basically what this says is they basically done a report and everything that saying they broke the COVID rules, but what's going to be done about it? Fuck all. There's nobody going to be hauled into the guards barracks like only members of the public were during the lockdowns when they were going around their only business. Going around the country as they're supposed to be. It's free. It's a free country. They're entitled to, as long as they pay the road tax. They're entitled to go. If they have a car, they're entitled to go to here to Kingdom Come if they wanted to. There's nobody can really say. Only for the guards were saying where you're going to, what you're up to, where you're going, this, that, And there was no guards around. Where was the guards? There set up 50 guards outside with batons beating the shit out of them as soon as they came out the door. But no, not a guard around. Apparently there was no guards. It's funny that, isn't it? But basically, who's going to be gone? Out of the whole lot of them here in this picture, the Department of Foreign Affairs, there was probably a good, maybe 100 people maybe at it, give or take. This picture only shows probably half. There's probably more in the background. But yeah, who's losing their job? Who's going to be brought into the guards barracks and given a fine? Who's going to be brought to court about it? Because there's only citizens, harassed by An Garda Síochána O'Connor every 10 minutes a day. For going around their basic lives, and they're using their right to go around because they're entitled to go around the country. It's their own country, they're entitled to go. But yeah, it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. That's the word I always say. It's no different. They're no different to you and me. We're human. Everybody should be held to the same account. In other words, and obviously, apparently the account is non-existent when it comes to the establishment. Basically, fuck all is going to be done about it. In other words, that's basically it. But yeah, it's in the United Kingdom. I talked with Sue Gray, the report that was released. It wasn't the full report, but even that, that's even better than anything that will ever be done in this country, because the words that were used, not, in the Sue Gray report, really were damning. And really was put very, very straightforward and very simple terms, which were damning. But yeah, in this country, and again, particularly the media in the UK, you have to say it, even though some of them might be fake news and things like that, in fairness to them, they did ask a lot of questions. In fairness to them, they did ask a lot of questions that were holding power to account, because the sheer amount of parties and things like that, you couldn't really turn a blind eye and say nothing about it. Here, RT barely mentioned it, barely mentioned it once, and then they fucked off and went on about these idiots in the far right, this, that, and all these extremists, dangerous, and these people breaking the rules. And OT themselves broke the rules. They broke every one of the rules, to be totally honest with you. And not a hit was said about that either. But yeah, if we had a decent media in this country that was putting pressure, all these people would be out of a job now, to be totally honest. The best thing should be done is all these should be kicked out of the job, and kicked out, told to go home, never come back. Because again, it's the principle. Again, it's the principle that they could do what other people couldn't do. They couldn't gather in the house and things like that without An Garda Síochána O'Connor coming along and with the Gestapo and beating them with batons. Again, it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Everybody should be held to the same account. And particularly again, it's become very clear, particularly in the UK, and seen it here, that one rule for you and me, the taxpayer, and the rule for the leadership. So yeah, great country.